What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today we are going to be talking about one of the most popular guns on YouTube right now. One of the highly requested guns for the channel. I've seen all your comments. Trust me, I've been paying attention, and I have for you the Smith & Wesson Equalizer. The Smith & Wesson Equalizer did just come out, and it took me a little bit to get it. I did get it at my local Shield, so appreciate the patron guys for that. The Equalizer is an interesting gun. It has a lot of features people have been asking for, and it has a lot of functionality that separates it, I think, a little bit from the traditional pack of, I don't know what you'd call it, micro, major, macro 9s. Is it macro 9 now? It's like a slightly larger version of the micro 9. It's actually pretty interesting. What we have here is a very slim, relatively compact, yet relatively easy to use. It's not even a striker fired gun. It's internal hammer fired gun with a polymer frame. We also have a grip safety. It is compatible for optics. That's very cool. Big up on you, Smith & Wesson. We have Smith & Wesson's standard Shield style or M&P style white dot sights that are also metal, so you don't have to worry about breaking them. We got a Picatinny rail. We have very deep serrations in the side. It is based on the EZ platform, so it is easy to rack. So as you can see here, it's really easy to operate if you have arthritic hands, if you're a smaller statured person. If you have an issue putting a round into the chamber, this is one of the guns that you should go to. Not, in my opinion, the tip-up barrel designs, which are famous for that in the past. I do prefer this. Because it has such a light spring and its internal hammer fire design, it does come with a grip safety on it, which can be good or bad depending on how well it's done. Some 1911 grip safeties are done well, some aren't. I hate the one on the Springfield XD, which is why I don't really use it. They can be a disadvantage. You know, grip safety, people think, wow, it's just safer, it's just easier. But sometimes if you don't get the right purchase on the gun, maybe the gun doesn't go off. So today we are going to be testing that. Today I'm going to be shooting the gun with a little bit different grip here and there and see if I can get this thing to not engage. We also are going to be putting an optic on it for the future. This is going to be one of those guns we do 1,000 rounds of, partly because I like Smith & Wesson, partly because this gun's very popular, but mostly actually because the gun takes the Shield magazines, of which I have a lot. So that's really nice. The gun also comes with 3 magazines as opposed to 2, which has been the norm lately. I prefer 3. We have a 10 rounder, a 15 rounder, and a 12 rounder, I think, right? 13 rounder. That's pretty good value for the money, to be honest with you. We've got a 22 ounce overall weight, making it very lightweight, easy to carry. We got a 3.1 inch barrel on it with good ballistics, and we have a grip that seems to be very easy to carry. Now, we do have these spacers on the magazines. You can have a bigger grip if you want, although sometimes when they put these spacers on there, you will get a pinch here and there, especially when you're loading or reloading the gun. However, it is nice because you can go from a bigger grip to a smaller grip, and you can all run the flush fit mag if you want to carry it all day and make it more comfortable. The nice thing about the new design compared to the Shield is not only that you get the easy rack design and you get the safety of the grip safety if you want that, but they do come with, just like the Shield, they do come with a manual safety or without. I went with the one without because I don't need redundancies, not quite that much anyway. But the trigger seems to be better than the Shield, so I kind of like that. Let's see if we can dry fire it here real quick. You can see the reset here. It's pretty short and light, although not very tactical, I have to admit. Tactile was what I was looking for, not tactical. This isn't Chris Costa's channel. And you can see the break is really, really nice. So I think I'll shoot pretty well with this. I'll probably shoot better with a red dot because, you know, with a short sight radius, red dot's generally better because you don't need a sight radius. However, I bet I'll shoot this pretty well. It's the first snow of the year, and it's very cold out here, and sometimes my shooting quality goes down because of that. If you guys live in Florida, you don't know what I'm talking about. It's hard to shoot in the fucking cold, guys. It's snow in the background. We got some white targets, so it should be a good time today. That being said, I do want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. We bought this gun at the Patreon dollars. If you like the unbiased content, please go down to that link and sign up for Patreon. And also, if you don't like Patreon, YouTube has super thanks. We appreciate it either way. It buys ammo either way. We also want to mention a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS. We try to support it in every video. That link is always in my description. If you want to donate to those kids, I'd really appreciate it. Now, we're going to take this out and we're going to shoot it and see if the hype is real. All right, so for the first shots here, ooh, that is easy to rack. For the first shots here, we're going to try it at 75 yards, but I'm not promising anything. I put that barrel next to it, and I shouldn't have, because I've shot it like 100 times. You can hear when I go off to the left just a little bit of the target thunk. It's like the sound of failure. All right, we got one hit so far. First off, I can tell you the trigger break is great. The trigger reset is garbage. It's a little longer than I would expect, and there's no tactile or audible reset. There is a little bit when I was sitting at the table, but here shooting, I can't even tell. I'm just guessing. And I don't like that. I like to know when my trigger's reset. It's kind of funny. See my breath?
Yep, it's
getting in the way of my sight picture.
I saw it. I saw it.
So white sights. Why I don't like white sights. Snow is white. Breath is white. If you look in the background, if I were to aim at anything other than my dark berm right there, you see how the background is all nice and a shade of gray or white? That's why I prefer a red dot, or I prefer a front fiber optic, or I prefer like an orange or green HD, because those things are uncommonly found in nature, and I like to have contrast with my sight. If you're gonna have an iron sight gun, you have to be able to focus on that front sight, and sometimes those like color tricks trick you into like looking at it even when you're under stress. So like you're bearing down on the gun, you're trying to get that correct trigger control, you're trying to get that correct grip, which is the two most important things for long distance marksmanship. You shouldn't have to worry about focusing on your sight. That sight should be there. Oh boy, the struggle is real. Now we're gonna shoot the flush fit one, and that'll be a little bit more difficult. See? I gotta tell you, I don't know if it's the shape of the grip, but with the flush fit mag, it's kind of banging into the back of my hand a little bit, and it does seem like it's a little uncomfortable to shoot. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you never really like flush fit ones.
I never really like what?
Flush fit.
Yeah, you know, when I do, because when I carry the
hands.
Shield Plus, I even have a finger extension. And part of that is because of this. You know, you're not going to have that problem most likely unless you're a big old ginger like me. But it is, for some reason, I think maybe the grip, it doesn't have like a little hump here, or maybe it's like, I don't know, I think maybe it's this ridge or something.
The lack of the hump.
But something's kind of smacking me in the back of the hand every time I shoot for some reason.
All right, going back.
Yeah. We're gonna pot shot at 100 yards with this thing. We got the 15 rounder in there now. Nothing. I don't think we're gonna be able to hit anything from here. For some reason, I can't seem to get it where I want it. And then that happens.
Always.
I think I have to hold a little high. Yeah, I'm done with this. So, I've noticed that for some reason, maybe today I'm just tired, because we talked about how I've done a lot of stuff previous to the video, but I am definitely shanking them low and left real hard.
I heard the
barrel.
thud.
Oh my God.
I heard the thud.
One round in the mag. Now we got the flush fit, the mighty flush fit.
So there was a lot of like black smoke coming off that. Was that from the oil?
It's from Sauron. I'm tired. But luckily, I've got the equalizer to equalize.
Is that so?
You want to shoot it?
Ready, boo-boo?
Yeah. Put some hurting on that target in front of you there.
Okay, I'll try.
What do you think?
Little guns are snappy and I got long claws.
That's true. I'm gonna get you from the side here.
Here's what it is. But the sights are good. I feel like I'm doing pretty good with it.
Yeah, it was easier to shoot than I expected. It's bumping me in the palm a little bit, but other than that, the recoil control is awesome. Yep. It's got a lightened recoil spring, which reminds me a lot of competition guns. The gun isn't oversprung, so a lot of times the gun will shoot forward or slingshot forward after the round has shot. And in that, because it has such a lightened recoil spring to be able to rack easier, it has the added benefit of having lighter recoil as well, which is kind of cool. Give me a couple more here.
You know so much, baby.
Well, about some things. You want to go first, or do you want me to go first? Because you were talking a little bit about how the grip was uncomfortable while we were walking up here, and I think maybe people should know. I know you have nails and you have smaller hands, but this gun's kind of meant for that crowd, I sort of feel like. Maybe not. Yeah,
it was not actually the most comfortable gun, but I don't think Smith & Wesson handguns and I get along that much. I don't love the thin grip, but I understand why it would be a positive for a carry gun. The truth is
fits better in your waistband, yep.
Right, absolutely. The truth is most carry guns are small. Most of them are snappy, and just because it's uncomfortable to shoot doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad gun.
Right.
Because the gun you have is the one you're going to use in a defensive situation, and if you don't have it, then you can't use it anyways.
It's true, you know, Clint Smith. What I think you're talking about is the grip does seem to be a little bit more blocky, I think, than maybe the shield, but you didn't love the shield either.
I didn't love the shield. I like a thick grip, but...
The grip safety was interesting because I noticed when you were shooting that if you look back in the footage here, I noticed when you were shooting, your grip that you've been taught and the grip that you traditionally use and the one that I use is up here. But the grip I saw you shooting down there, and maybe it was because you felt like you needed to put the grip safety in, I'm not sure, but there was a good bit of gap. And that immediately increases muzzle flip.
Sure.
You know, not controlling the gun. So I thought that was fascinating. I was wondering if that was grip related, because if you push the grip in, the grip safety in, it is not flush, as you can see there. It's got a big bump on it. And I wonder if that's what's beating my hand up a little bit too. It wasn't as comfortable to shoot as I expected. It is easy to rack.
Incredibly easy. And
the recoil impulse, as far as muzzle flip, was good. Because the recoil spring is lighter, so it wasn't slingshotting it forward as much, so the rapid shots were very fast. I didn't like the reset of the trigger, because you don't even know where it is. And if this was like your one gun, well, that's great, but if you own more than one gun, you kind of have to hear and or feel it, you know, and I felt like this was a little uncomfortable. I like the grip personally. I like the texture. I like that it came with 3 mags. I like the serrations. I like the mount. I like the sights. I like the feel of the grip besides the grip safety.
Yeah.
I didn't like the grip safety, I'll be honest. That's probably my main gripe about the gun, but it shouldn't be shocking if you watch the channel, because I don't like grip safeties traditionally, although I do love 1911s. A lot of my 2011s have pin grip safeties for that very reason. I did shoot it a little in awkward positions, not necessarily with my left hand, but I did move it around a little bit in my hand, and I didn't have any problems not initiating the grip safety. And when I would pick it off the table, my hand would go right there, and I would initiate the grip safety. It wasn't an issue of reliability, which is good, but it was an issue of comfortability.
Definitely. But no malfunctions.
None.
I feel like the interface between me and the gun were good. I just don't love the grip.
I shot it well. I didn't shoot it well at distance, but I think that's because I'm just so fucking tired, and the berm is white, the sights are white. I always have a problem with that when I don't have contrast. Sights are easily changed. You can find Smith & Wesson sights anywhere. It takes shield mags, so I'm sure it takes shield sights as well. The Picatinny rail is nice, but it was not big enough quite to fit my X300 with the mount that it comes with, but my TLR7 does fit on it. So it will take a weapon light, which is pretty cool. It's cheap, $600 MSRP, I think, right? I got it for like $575 or something. Pretty good deal, on par with the Shield, on par with a lot of guns in its class. I think it would make sense for somebody that wants to have a light slide to cycle while still wanting to have the double stack capability of the Shield Plus, and having Shield mags, and just coming from a company like Smith & Wesson that does have good customer service, does have a good track record, does have all the things you would want it to have, really. Overall, though, for me personally, I feel like I probably wouldn't carry this just because of the trigger reset and the grip safety. But we're going to do a full 1,000-round review, and maybe I'll warm up to it. We'll see.
It's also, I don't know if it's necessarily made for someone like you.
It's not. That's the other thing. It's not target. I mean, a giant 6'4" guy can't shoot at 100 yards. Really isn't the philosophy of use of Smith & Wesson for making this gun.
Right.
It's meant for close quarters, close, quick engagements, and especially people who are less likely to be trained. You know, if you have too arthritic of hands, or if you're too small statured to rack the slide, you're probably not taking a lot of tactical classes either. So it is what it is. I do like the gun. I just sort of feel like, just like the CSX that came out recently, does have a couple of things about it that I would prefer a Gen 2. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your local homeless shelters, and remember to cycle. I'll check you later.